How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Vital Accent. Welcome over on Periscope. Hey, Denise. Hey, Geneva. What's up, Tanya? What's up, Jason? Hey, Christy. How are you? And David is here. Hey, Dave. Good morning, Amanda. And a very special lady has just arrived. My wife is here. Actually planned to be on the show today, but things happen, so maybe tomorrow we'll get her on here. Hey, Pauline, good morning. Welcome in YouTube, welcome in Facebook, welcome in Periscope, all you lovely people here. Good to have you on the show today. We just jam out, if you're new, waiting for people to get here. Hey, Pastor Cliff. On the show, we're going to start here in just in a couple seconds. We give people a little bit of time to get logged in. Today is number 548. 548. That is so crazy. What's up, Janine? Hey, Rita. Are you guys ready for this? Here we go. It's time to start the Vital Axiom. Here's the information telling you we're about to begin. And then my ugly mug will soon appear. Get your children away from the screen and hide your eyes. May not be a lovely picture, so. How you guys doing today? Good to see you on the show. It is just a couple days before Thanksgiving, and I hope you're ready. My wife and I went to the store last night. She started to begin to buy all the products for us to make Thanksgiving. She's making banana pudding, and I love all y'all, but I love my wife's banana pudding the very best. Now, she does some special things to it, like sour cream, and I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? But it's so delicious. And so we're everybody pumping up and getting ready for Thanksgiving. It's about here, and we are going to be doing that really soon. And we're glad you guys are on the show today. How you guys doing? Hey, let me tell you what I'm thinking about maybe next week. I'm thinking about doing Relationship Week next week. Hey, Amanda, what you doing? And I'm thinking about doing Relationship Week next week. I may do, I've been doing memes. If you follow me on Facebook or Periscope, I've been doing these memes called the Relationship Series, just basically talking about some simple truths about relationships, not just marital relationships, but, friendship relationships and stuff. And I've been getting a lot of responses. So I'm thinking, maybe we need to do a little bit of a relationship series. So I'm thinking about next week. So what do you guys think about that? Hey, Lynn, what's up, Teresa? What do you guys think about relationship series? I'm thinking about maybe taking questions, which would mean this. It would mean you have to send me questions ahead of time that you might have about. I'm not the guru, like I have all answers, but I can at least look them up. Go to somebody's website. No, I'm kidding. But, well, maybe not totally kidding. But anyway, you guys could send me questions or comments or situations, and we could talk about, hey, what do I do here? Or what's the right answer? Or is there one? Or whatever. So why don't you guys think about that? We'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow and on Friday. Probably won't be here on Thursday. And hopefully if my wife Sharon will be here tomorrow, I'm like, yes, please come here and be on this show with me. And so think about relationship series. You guys ready to sing? And we're going to do a song you guys probably know. It's one of my favies. Of course, I only do my favorites on the show. I don't ever do songs I hate. And I love to worship with you guys. So why don't you guys join me? I got to push a few buttons. And we'll start singing today. Are y'all ready?
solid gold, like a valley.
vow that is tested like a covenant of old. Your love is enduring through the winter rain and beyond the horizon. With mercy for today, faithful you have been, faithful you will be. You pledge yourself to me, and that's why I sing your praise. Will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips. And you father the orphan, your kindness makes us whole, and you shoulder our weakness, and your strength becomes our own. Yeah, you're making me like you, and clothing me in white, bringing beauty for ashes. For you will have your bride, rid of all her guilt, rid of all her shame, and known by her true name. And that's why I sing your praise. Will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be. You will be praised, you will be praised. Angels and saints we sing, worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised, you will be praised. Angels and saints we sing, worthy are you, Lord. That's why I sing your praise. Will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will, oh, your praise will ever be on my lips. Oh, I will offer up my praise to you, offer up my praise to you, Lord. I will worship you with all my heart, and offer up my praise to you. Oh, and I will praise you, I will praise you. As long as I have breath, I worship you, and I will love you, and I will love you. As long as I have breath, I will love you, Lord. As long as I have breath, amen. The Bible says, let everything that has breath praise the Lord. How you guys doing? Good to see Josh on here. Hey, Joshua. What's up, Toby? Gloria, Tasha, so many people. Hey, Nita, what's up? And Henry Ishii is here from over in Dubai. Hey, Pamela and Hannah. And so many people jumping in. How's everybody doing today? Good to see you on the show. Hey, what do you think about that? What do you think about doing a relationship week next week? I'm thinking about that. It's kind of going through my head round and round. You know, it seems like lately I've had been bombarded, and I don't mean that in a negative way, with people having relationship troubles. Wow, wow, yow, wowsy, wow. And to the point of just being overwhelming. And so, there's some basic truths about relationship. If we could learn those, I'm not saying it'll be a perfect snap and everything's fixed. Relationships are a process. I told someone yesterday, we can't change anybody, and the only person who can do that is God, but he still has to have their permission. And we got to get that. People are not going to change until they submit to God and say, hey, God, okay, I'm ready to change. So I want you to think about that. If you think you want to do Relationship Week next week, send me a message. Send me a private message on Facebook, or you can email me at pwzion@hotmail.com, or I don't know, all kind of Facebook, I don't know, somewhere. Find somebody to get a hold of me. And send me your question or comment, or and if it looks like there's a sort of a desire for that, then we'll start Relationship Week next week. And I probably should do that in February. And I may wait till then, but just see how you guys respond. Hey, how you guys doing? Good to see you on the show. We're talking this week about Thanksgiving, of course, about gratitude. And I think I titled it "The Grateful Leper." And so we talked yesterday about this story. You need to go look it up, and I can't go back and cover it all in Luke chapter 17, I believe it was, where Jesus healed 10 lepers. And there's a lot of paradigms in there we covered. Go back and watch yesterday if you want to hear it all again. I can't do it. Or you can watch the message in its entirety on our church Facebook page, Zion Family Ministries. Sunday's message is there. Or you can just hang out here with us and we'll cover all the issues. Here's what we ended up yesterday. We're talking about how Jesus could have healed the lepers instantly, but he didn't do it. He could have healed them instantly, but he didn't do it. What he did do was say, hey, go show yourself to the priest, which we thought at least I did. I thought was kind of weird. Like, Jesus, why would you send him to the priest? What's up, Danny? Hey, Patty. Why would you send him to the priest? Because the priest already know them, because the priest managed them to a Samaritan leprosy colony. And of course they're still lepers. So what's going to happen when they get to the priest? Well, Jesus had a plan. I believe it was actually a test. In this situation, they obeyed the Lord, even though he didn't give them what they wanted. Now, think about that just for a minute. What did they want? They wanted cleansing from leprosy. When do we want it? We want it now. They wanted to be cleansed. They said, Jesus, son of David, or whatever, have mercy on us. And he didn't do it. He said, just go to the priest and show yourself. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, except Christ was giving them a test, which they sort of passed and sort of didn't. So my question yesterday, we ended with at the end of the show, was this: how do you respond when God doesn't give you the answer you want when you want it? It's funny how, I love all these protesters. What do we want? Something. When do we want it? Now. It's like, okay, cool. I love when they do that. Actually, I don't, it drives me nuts. But and we do that to God all the time. We go to God and say, okay, God, you got to do this. You got to do it right now, right this very second. And if you don't, you're not God. If you don't love me. All these things we do. And yet we see all kinds of examples in the Bible where God does answer prayer, but not how they want it or when they want it. Or, I remember a black church I was at one time, they said, God may not always be there when you want him, but he's always right on time. And at first I didn't like that. Hey, Sharon, what's up, Lee? I didn't like that at all. I was like, nah. Then I thought about it. I was like, well, it's kind of cool. It's kind of true. The reality is, there's God's timetable in mind. And when I think I need the Lord, it doesn't matter. It's when he knows the circumstance. So what is your response when God doesn't give you what you want when you want it? So we're going through these points, these parallels. The fifth point is, as they went. As they went. I want you to understand is that there wasn't a prayer line. You go to a meeting or a conference and you want to get prayed for and you want something to happen right then. Jesus didn't lay hands on them. He didn't put any spit in the mud and stick it in their eyeballs. He didn't ask them to stretch out their hands. All the things that we've seen him do with other people. He didn't do any of those things. He said, go show yourself to the priest. And as they were on their way to what? They were on their way doing what they were supposed to do as they went. As they went. God doesn't always answer how we want when we want. As they continued on their directed journey, their God-directed journey. Think about that just for a minute. When you get trouble and stuff in your life, do you always, hey, what's up? All the people, I see people jumping on Periscope too. Nick's is on there, and thanks for the hearts over there. Here's the reality. God directed them on a journey. Here's my question for you. If God is not doing exactly what you want or how you're doing it, are you going to continue on your journey? Are you going to try to hold God hostage? I always think that's funny. Okay, God, I'm not going to do anything you ask me to do until you answer my prayer. That's not what these guys did. When Jesus said, go show yourself to the priest, you know what they did? They went and showed themselves to the priest. At least they were on their way. And while they journeyed, a miracle happened. What's up, John? So I want you to think about your life and think about that. Are you going to continue in your journey while you wait on your miracle? Are you going to continue in your journey while you wait for God to do what you need him to do or what you ask him to do, or at least answer your prayer in some way, whether it's yes, no, or wait? Are you going to continue on your journey, or are you just going to sit down and quit? I see so many people who don't understand their life, who don't like what's going on, and they just immediately go to say, God, this is all your fault. I'm done with you. And these guys didn't blame God for their leprosy, and they also went on their journey, and they were obedient. And then while they were on their journey, that's so important for us today. Hey, Jim, that's so important for us to understand that, hey, what's up, merhaba? While they were on their journey, merhaba, I don't know what that means. I hope it's a nice word. I hope it means hello. While they were on their journey, they got healed. They were in the process. They were moving in the direction that Christ had directed them, and then they saw the miracle. And that tells me this: don't give up. Just keep on going. Keep walking your journey. Keep walking in faith and do what God says. And lastly, and most like us, this is the sad part, right? Everybody get your Kleenex out. And lastly, and most like us, 90% turned out to be ungrateful. Ooh, that stings. I feel a sting. 90%. There was 10, and we know that one, we've already read the story. You have to go read it yourself. There were 10 guys that got healed, and only one came back. Only one. So most like us, 90% were not grateful for what happened to them. Now think about this. They got a miracle. They were healed of leprosy. I don't know if you know anything about leprosy. If you Google it, be prepared because it's kind of gruesome. It's a nasty, terrible, horrible disease that does weird things to your body, and it's miserable. And everything goes, all your extremities go numb, and eventually you'll end up, because you don't know you're doing it, you'll rub your nose off, your fingers will fall. I mean, it's awful. And so these guys were healed of that. They were cleansed of that. Hey, Luann, they were cleansed. And they weren't grateful. Yeah, can we stop? It's Thanksgiving. You say, is this a Thanksgiving message? It is for me. It's what I'm talking about. Let me ask you this question. What has God done in your life? Have you even begun to express gratitude? 90%, and I want to know, I'm not sure if I do know, but I wonder if this is a number that might represent church people that are ungrateful for what God has done. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to be thankful to God, and not just on Thanksgiving. How weird. How could you receive such an incredible blessing and not incredible blessing from God and not even take a minute to say thank you? I want you to kind of consider all that God has done for you. We take salvation for granted. Man, wow, we take it for what God has done and cleansed and revealed. How could you receive healing for leprosy? And the majority of not even the majority would be 51%. Almost everybody say, well, whatever. And one person come back and say thank you. That's so bizarre. This story is a reflection of our condition. You know, I told the church that the central point of this story is not the healing, but it's the gratitude. God has blessed us so amazingly, and we stay away from Him as they did. They stayed at a distance, and we refuse to be grateful. Are you keeping yourself at a distance from God, and are you walking in gratitude? It's really what this message is about. Help me be that one out of the 10. Amen, Henry. Amen to that. Help me be the one out of the 10 that goes back. And the funny thing is, he's a Samaritan man. That's what's even more important. Jesus said, and you're a Samaritan, because Samaritans hated Jews, Jews hated Samaritans. And I want to close with this today in the last couple of minutes. Here's what I wrote down in my notes. You can't see them, but they're flashing over here in my little keynote on my Mac. He became, the Samaritan, let me say it again, this one Samaritan man became the only, ready for these two words, grateful worshiper. Everybody say it with me. Say grateful worshiper. He became the only grateful worshiper. Grateful worshiper. And what do you mean? Well, first of all, the Bible says he came back and started to say thank you. He glorified God. He fell down at Jesus' feet and said thank you. So those are acts of worship, and those are acts of thanksgiving. They all received the same miracle, every one of them. Apparently, the remainder of the group were Jews, because we talked about him being a Samaritan means the rest of them weren't Samaritans. So you're the one Samaritan, Jesus says. So the Jews who are most relationally connected to Jesus had no gratitude. The only one that returned with grateful worship is the one that was the least likely to do that. That's pretty powerful. It says to me that the church and religious people and people that really should be really grateful aren't, and the ones that have the least reasons to come running back. The central theme in this event is not the healing, but the gratitude. And we're going to pick up right here tomorrow. The central theme in this story, this is not a parable, it's a real story, it really happened. But the central theme for us is not the healing of the leprosy, but the expression of gratitude. And we learn a lot about gratitude. Here's a couple things we learn, and we'll close. Here's what we learn. Number one, we learn that gratitude is expected. Jesus says, hey, where's the other guys at? Where's the other 9 guys? Because he's pointing out that we should be grateful. Gratitude is expected. Then he says gratitude is appropriate. It's the right response. You ever have somebody you open the door for somebody and they don't say thank you? You're like, well, come on, man, be nice. Say thank you. I always say thank you very much. Sometimes gratitude's not given, but you know what? It's expected and it's appropriate to be grateful. And then we learn something else about gratitude. Gratitude reveals character. We'll pick up here tomorrow. Gratitude reveals character. Gratitude is an expression of worship. It's an expression of worship. Oh, so much good stuff here. You got to come back tomorrow. And I'll talk to you about why didn't the 10 come back. I'm going to give you some insight that you may agree or disagree with. So think about it today. Gratitude is expected, appropriate. It reveals your character. It's an act of worship. Okay, guys, love you guys. Good to have you on. Privyet, muy brat. Kagdila. Regard. Thank you so much. Au revoir, do svidania, adios, see you later, alligator. I'm out of here, guys. Let's jam a little bit. You guys want to jam? There we go, we're jamming out. See you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11:30 here on the Vital Axiom. East Coast time, that is, anyway. Follow us on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. Hook up with everybody. Remember, maybe relationship week next week. So, let me know what you think. I haven't heard from anybody yet, I don't believe.